welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. My name is Parker Robinson, and I'm joined by Nathaniel Easton in this spiffy-looking track outfit.
Yeah.
So we'll get right into how you got that. And that was part of the Red Paperclip event here on campus. For any of you who don't know it, we'll kind of give you a rundown on that and what to look forward to as the auction comes up. One of the students that was involved is with us today, Devon Loy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, doing great. I got my nice jacket. I don't even need my jacket. It's nice out.
You should be going to start sweating here soon.
Yeah, I might. But Devon, just kind of take us through how you were approached from the teacher's perspective, Dr. Dragseth, how she kind of introduced the project and what your first thoughts were when she said, here's a paperclip, turned into something more.
Well, she, in the business ethics class that I'm in with her, she approached us with this project that we were going to do and told us about how a guy in Canada did it and he got a house out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at first I was like, there's no way. And then she showed us the video. It was like a 20-minute clip on like the whole story about how he started with a red paper clip and wanted to show people like, you know, just that there are generous people out there that are willing to help. And he got a house out of it. And she said, so we need to do the same thing here in the city of Dickinson. So we all got together, decided on a charity that we were going to give it to, and gave us a red paper clip. And she said, go make 8 trades. You guys got 8 weeks.
So 8 trades, just kind of before we get into the auction and what that all benefits, just take us through kind of your journey with your particular paperclip and what you were able to turn that into.
So with my paperclip, my teammate Ryan Clark, me and him decided to do a partnership. So we both started with the red paperclip, and then we traded for these like little V8 drinks, and then we took that and traded with the basketball coaches and got signed jerseys by both the men's and women's team this year. And then Dr. Dragseth said, oh, I know this person that would love those jerseys. And then so we traded the jerseys with him and got these 10 silver coins that were 1 ounces of silver, worth like $340, which were incredibly hard to get rid of. I didn't think they were going to be as hard as they were, but they did. So we took those, and then we just said, all right, we're not going to trade them all at once. We're going to just break it up and do multiple trades with them. And then you came into the class, you saw we just made a huge collection of stuff. We got a table, a brass deer, harmonica, a radio, and then a fire extinguisher. I don't know.
Yeah,
people are just like, they were just willing to give you stuff. It was kind of crazy.
Back in, I was actually in the first class that did this red paperclip project. So Dr. Dragseth, another professor at Dickinson State, and another student and I went to Chicago to present on this conference. So Dr. Dragseth brought me into the class to kind of inspire them, words of encouragement, but I was the one who was taken back by Devon and his teammates' collection. They had it all laid out on their desk, and a couple of those items made it to the auction list, so you'll get the opportunity to bid on those. But while we talked about your teammate, kind of transitioning into how you got here, I assume basketball was a big reason to why you ended up at Dickinson?
Yeah, so Coach Tibbs, he was my assistant coach at Dawson Community College, and he gave me a call last year and said, you still want to play basketball? And I was like, well, duh. That's a no-brainer. So he called me, said, hey, Coach is interested. So Coach Wetzel gave me a call, and we talked, and, Coach Wetzel is an excellent recruiter, so it was a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah, and how fun was it for a season for a team to be that successful with a lot of new faces as well?
It's an incredible experience. Like, you can't put anything on it. You can't, put a price on it. You can't.
Not even a red paperclip.
Not even a red paperclip. I won't trade anything for it. But it was, he kept telling us, at the beginning of the season, 11 new guys, we're projected not to win. We were predicted, 4th in conference, and we won conference, and we exceeded expectations, and it was something incredible. It was just a true blessing, really.
A little bit of a Dawson County reunion with the squad. So what was it like to be back with those guys on the buses, on the court, and all those?
It was almost like we didn't even leave each other.
Sure.
Brought up a lot of good memories and stuff, and Coach Wetzel was a Dawson Buccaneer too, and Tibbs was there for 10 years, and Jake and I were there together, so it was kind of funny because people, even our teammates were like, where's Glendive at?
Yeah.
They didn't know. We're
Wow.
like, dude, we're just down the road an
trying
hour.
to put them on the map here with
Yeah.
parlaying that into a conference championship here at DSU. But all right, going back to the auction, after you made your 8 trades, you guys accumulated between you and your classmates some stuff that the point wasn't for you to get a house to live in, like you talked about that first trade, or the first guy who did this was. The point was to donate back.
Yeah.
So kind of talk about that process and what you guys decided to donate to.
So we decided to donate to, I'm probably going to butcher the name, but the Domestic Rape and Violence Center. And because they have this, they're building a new building and stuff, so we knew we wanted to help them out with that. And a bunch of, there was a couple of members in the class that actually have worked for them or knew people that were interns with that program. So she put a bunch of like charities that we could go to and which ones we liked, and then we took a class vote and we chose that one just because we felt like they needed our help the most and it'd be the best situation for us. And then, you know, so like a bunch of my classmates, it gives you a little more motivation because when you're really working for something instead of just doing it for a class, you know,
Sure.
probably I wouldn't have worked near as hard. But then I knew like what I was doing it for, and I knew I was going to go for a good cause. It definitely changed how I attacked the challenge itself.
Yeah, being involved in this, and then other basketball-related activities with the community. How do you feel Dickinson State affects the community and how that reciprocates?
You know, everything's good. Everything helps. You know, there's nothing really like, you know, your team's winning. You know, the community's going to look at you good. And then all of a sudden, a couple of athletes because, I mean, we had like football, rodeo, baseball, basketball. These kids are coming up to you and saying, like, okay, we're not just athletes. Like, we're trying to make a difference in the community. Like, it just does everything for the university. Helps it in every way.
Another thing you're involved in, you talked about being a business major, PBL. Take us through that experience and what you're going to have the opportunity to potentially do at a national competition.
Yeah, so one of the rodeo girls, Alicia, she confronted me about it in class because she's been helping me. We've had a bunch of classes this year together, and she helps me with homework, and she actually told me she'd stop helping me if I didn't join.
Hey,
so I was
leverage.
I was like, well, shoot, I guess I have to join now. So she forced me to join, and it was actually something I'm not regretting one bit. Went to the state conference, me and her placed first in both our events and qualified for the national tournament in Anaheim this year, and it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be fun, you know, just going there, going against kids from all over the country and all over all different backgrounds, shape, sizes. It's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be intense, but it's gonna be a lot of fun too.
For folks who might be more familiar with the high school version, FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, the Dickinson State chapter, I think went 14 for 14 as far as members that went to the state conference that qualified by placing in the top 2 or 3 in their event to make it to nationals. And like Devon talked about, he qualified for 2 events. But let's run through some of the auction items. Take us through what you contributed, and then we'll run through some different items.
So I contributed the brand new Kovash end table, the harmonica, the brass deer, which I think the table and the deer are going to be a sleeper. I think they're going to go for big. If you guys want it, you know, come to the auction. And then I got I think I already said the harmonica, the radio.
The unusual, it's listed
the
as an
unusual radio.
So
It's not really, I don't know.
it's not that
It's not unusual. It's just a radio.
That's trying to sell it.
And the fire extinguisher.
Okay. So those are Devon's items. This full list of about 40 items, we'll run through some of the highlights here. There's a brand new convectional oven. That's like not quite the full thing, but it's kind of like the adult easy bake version. There's a woman's snowboard, so we know we have a lot of male Blue Hawk fans out there. If you've gotten yourself in trouble watching too much football or basketball, get your significant other a snowboard. Get out of the hole that you've dug yourself. Dinner with the North Dakota Lieutenant Governor. That's a valuable opportunity to push whatever agenda you might have, something you've been working on that could lead to a very interesting result if you win that dinner. There's an extremely large art kit, so if you need to decorate your cabin or something like that, go for that piece. Authentic DSU track and field bag. I got my authentic Dickinson State track and field jacket by trading with one of Devon's classmates. So There's other DSU apparel, there's DSU tickets, all sorts of different things. There's a brand new smart television, all sport pass for DSU athletics. This whole list is going to be available online. Dr. Dragseth will get that out to the Dickinson Press, to all sorts of different places. But just so you know, this silent auction takes place April 27th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's going to be in Stockton Library, so be sure to stop by throughout the day, check out what items there are. There's also going to be grab bags that you can pick up if you're not able to stay for the end of the auction. You want to make sure you go home with something. Go ahead and grab a grab bag. Devon's class, like he talked about, is raising money for the Domestic Violence Center. The other class, there's two classes. The other classes, their funds are going towards the Love Your Melon campaign, which goes towards pediatric cancer relief. So all sorts of items on this list. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to see the good work of Devon and his classmates. Devon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Best of luck at Nationals as well. We'll be back hitting the links, talking a little bit of golf. Welcome back to Hawk Talk. This time around, we're joined by DSU Heritage Foundation Director Ty Orton. Just kind of go through with everything going on at the foundation these days.
Well, we got a lot going on with the foundation. Our biggest thing is we're starting all of our fundraising this year. We're really trying to be active in our academic side. We're trying to push over almost $600,000 of academic dollars raised, and those are our annual dollars. Right now, the one thing that a lot of people need to understand about the foundation, we're only 15 months old. We have $1.5 million in endowments. What an endowment means is that will live off of interest for years to come. And while we're waiting for those to start producing interest, we need to have annual dollars in order to produce scholarships for the kids coming in for the next 2 to 3 years. So our annual campaigns are extremely important right now. They need to be pushed, they need to be supported, and we're happy on the direction that those are heading. The other area that we're really pushing is our athletic campaign. We raised over $400,000 for our annual athletic campaign. So those two combined, that's a lot of work, that's a lot of effort, that's a lot of support, and we have a lot of support right now. And then finally, we push our endowments. We have to continue to push our endowments because I won't be here for 40 years. These two might, I don't know. But the question is how are we going to make this better when we're not here anymore? We want somebody to come in and say, this is a better institution because of what the donors did 20 years ago. And that's kind of the goal. And that's what we're really pushing to make sure that 20 years from now, we're really stepping up and those endowments are supporting and taking the pressure off of students and everybody trying to raise those dollars. So we're really working on those things. Now, besides the money, the Heritage Foundation is really trying to do some items outside of that. We really want to connect with our alumni across the nation. We really want to connect with our friends that care about DSU and they want to know what's going on with DSU. So we're really starting to do more social media, more outreach, more mailings, email blasts, everything that we can in order to make sure that the donors and our friends and our future students, whatever the case may be, they know that Dickinson State is out there. It's strong. It's going to continue to improve, and we need to do our part. And that's our goal right now. Last year, our first year was local. Everything we did was local. We pushed Dickinson. We pushed the immediate area. Now it's time that we get back to everybody. We do have some challenges. We don't have a database. The database is still locked up in the receivership of the old foundation, which everybody needs to know that. If you don't hear from us, it's not because we don't want you to hear from us. We don't know you're out there, and that's simply because we don't have access to that database. That database is very important, and but we can make it work without that database. And right now, we're going to. So we're asking everybody, if you're watching this, if you're not hearing anything from us, and you're watching this online or on TV, and you don't hear anything or receive a mailing from the Heritage Foundation, send us your information. We'll get into it. We'll talk to everybody. We'll get you on the mailing list. And it's not to ask you for money. It's just to keep you informed of everything that we're doing with the foundation. So those are our main goals this year for 2017, and really pushing to do the unique things and really getting this foundation going in the right direction for the next 5 years.
One of the crucial parts about having access to be able to contact people is with the centennial coming up, there's a lot of different activities that you would want to be a part of if you had some connection to Dickinson State University. So talk about some of the different things that are going on there to help give people another reason to make sure that they and their teammates, buddies, hallmates are all on the same page and able to take in some of these events.
You know, I coached for almost 20 years, and I always preached that it's not what building you're in, it's not any of that, it's the people you're surrounded by. And remember the times that you're having right now, because you're always going to look back on those as happy times. Even when they weren't happy, 20 years from now, you're going to look back and say, "Oh, that was the greatest time of my life. I love everything that's going on."
I can attest to some of that because with our basketball team, it's only 4 years, and my God, we were knocking on the door of a national championship.
Oh boy, I tell you.
20 years from now, we might be cutting down the nets.
You asked Brock Bose, and I don't know if they lost the game. And I wish it was like that. But it's one of those things where we want everybody to remember their time at DSU and how important Dickinson State and the city of Dickinson was to the people that they became. And we need them to understand that we need help. We need them to come back in. It's not financial help. We need them to show the support of Dickinson State University. Show them, hey, this is one of the best places that I've ever been, and come back and celebrate that centennial with us. It starts in 2017. The official centennial is 2018, but it starts in 2017 with our homecoming. We're really kicking off some events. We're trying to raffle off a car, a bike, probably raffle Nate off. I don't know. It's going to be one of those things where we're really trying to promote ideas. We're going to have several different areas where if you register early for the homecoming in 2018, you'll be eligible for your week stay here, where you can go to the Medora, where you can go to Mount Rushmore, and you can have numerous hotels paid and food paid, and you can stay at the president's house. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of different ways that we can make this work for people to come back and really show their support. So those are kind of the main things. 2018 homecoming is our all athletic reunion. 2018 Rough Rider Days, we're going to have our all school reunion. And we're not only asking people to bring their families and come out for a day or 2 days, stay for 3 or 4 days. Stay in the area, go see Medora, go watch a musical, travel the area, play golf when you're out here. I mean, I'm an exceptional golfer. You two struggle a lot, but it's something that you can really spend a week out here and make it a family vacation. But we need to get that out to everybody because they need to prepare. They need to understand that this is a great time to come back and show your spouse, your kids, whatever it is, that, hey, this is something that was unique and special to me, and I want you to experience part of it.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, not only financial support, but just helping in the planning process. There's plenty of ways to get involved in the committee. Just touch on that and some of the different possibilities for people.
We have a lot of committees for Centennial, but if you look at it, the average university our size, roughly 1,500 students, they start the process about 4 years in advance. We didn't have that luxury. They spend roughly $300,000 to $350,000 on their centennial. We don't have that luxury, but we're going to make this as the best that we can. And the way that we're going to do that without spending the money is we have a lot of people that are helping us with hotel rooms. We have a lot of people paying for advertisements. We have a lot of people that are going to make it a great show when people are on campus for those events. So, but that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of people. Currently, I would assume there's probably 60 to 70 people that are involved with the Centennial in the numerous committees from Rough Rider Days. Alicia Erickson is highly involved. She's a great supporter of DSU. She's our knowledge base right now, along with other people. There's a lot of people that are out there that really support DSU that are helping that. So we're really pushing to get involved with the committee. And, people are starting to change how they're supporting foundations. And I just gave a talk on this the other day is, support your foundation and show that you support. And people are really limiting the foundations that they support anymore. It's 2 or 3 foundations. If DSU Heritage Foundation and Dickinson State is one foundation that you want, if you can't give money, give time. It's almost, right now, we could use it. These 2 help us out. They sit on their phones all the time. I don't understand it. But we could use a lot of time. We could use people to come in and volunteer and help us archive, to help us make sure that what happened the last 100 years, people know 50 years from now, and it's going to continue to build. So it's going to be, it's in the growing process, but we're really excited about the Centennial. We think it's going to be a great event. Arlen Hoffland, Coach Hoffland's running the all athletic reunion, and he's got all sorts of ideas. Some of them are just crazy off the wall ideas. Everybody's going to wear a handlebar mustache and all that stuff. But it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, as you mentioned, archiving kind of the past 100 years is a big part of this, remembering all that was, and a special project with the yearbooks going on right now.
Yeah, we're really trying to digitize the yearbooks, and Josh Nichols is working extremely hard on that. He already has the company figured out. They're sending out the yearbooks, and we're working on trying to release those hopefully in late July, and release a picture a week and really show, hey, remember this. If you're in this picture, contact us, or however that's going to work. But there's a lot of ways to do that. But not only will it just be sent out the picture, but it'll be on our website. So if somebody from the 50s or 60s says, hey, I don't know where that yearbook went, they can get on our website. They can actually copy the picture and print it for themselves without free of charge. And that's something that is everybody's trying to make money, everybody's trying to do, this is something that this is a benefit for being an alumni and being part of that. We want those available to remember those times that they had at DSU.
One of the things both of you guys got to be a part of was going down to Arizona. You mentioned you've kind of saturated the local time, money, energy, resources, and you can continue to kind of build on that local support, but you want to look more nationally. And I heard some pretty cool stories about the Arizona trip, and there's a group that meets every Saturday for breakfast, just like they're at the Dakota Diners. So just kind of talk on that experience and what you found going down there.
We talked to Del Gabb, a big supporter of DSU and just a great person, and he really led us in a lot of directions on how to do some things. There were some things that worked, some things that didn't work. Parker's golf game didn't work. But John, just kidding.
We did lose. But,
but it was an event to really start to reconnect, and it will be now an annual event in February when it's 12 below here. We will be in Phoenix for possibly a month, but we'll go down there for 2 or 3 days, and we'll have probably 2 small events or 1 large event, and bring everybody back in and just have a small reunion. And Nate mentioned that they have a breakfast every week at a small establishment, Fat Willie's is what it was called. And we walked in, and there was 40 people and everywhere, and it was the loudest place in the world. It was just awesome. And everybody was Dickinson people, and they were Dickinson State people, and it was myself, Jay Schillinger, Pete Stanton, and Dr. Mitzel went down, and we just talked to people. It wasn't anything more than just starting to reconnect. And we did run into an individual that said, I haven't heard anything from you guys. I had to hear through the grapevine, and we had to explain. And that has turned into him giving us a DSU reunion that actually happens in Phoenix right around the time we're looking to go next year. And there's 40 to 50 individuals that he actually went to college with that will be at this reunion. So, and a lot of them had no idea, and we didn't have any way to contact them. So it's just spreading the word and letting everybody know, hey, this thing's going in the right direction. It's going to take some time, and we're going to grow, but it's going to continue to build as long as everybody stays positive and pushes it the right way.
Kind of in conclusion, the next time you'll hear from us will be probably in promotional and the day of an upcoming phone-a-thon. Do you want to just touch on that quick?
What is happening, our first year, in 2016, we pushed scholarships extremely hard. And that was our number one concern. DSU, they were giving out scholarships, but they were in the form of waivers. That, in turn, had an impact on the budget. Waivers aren't just free money that people give out. There's There's a line item on both sides, and it does cost the university dollars. So our biggest part was to build scholarships in 2016. Well, with that being said, we didn't ask people for unrestricted dollars. We didn't go out there and say we need money to grow, we need money to build. We didn't even do that. We took our fee, which is a minor fee, in order to pay for the audits, pay for our attorneys, pay for everything that is associated with the foundation. And while that was going on, we had large success. You two both know that. A lot of people know that. Over 600 scholarships given this year, over $750,000 given in scholarships for 2016-17. Hopefully going to 800 to 825,000 for 17-18. People have just been tremendously generous. Well, what happened was a group of individuals came in and said, you guys need a home. You need somewhere to go. Well, we do, and that's great, but we're not to that point. We don't have a lot of money. So they ended up buying the foundation house for us. And we'll be moving back in there on July 1st. They also ended up raising our O&M dollars for the next 6 years. They're working on raising those dollars. So that doesn't come back on us, and we can't pay the bills. Where they already have 4 years in the bank. So that's a great thing. That's already happening. But on the other side of that, we still need to raise operating dollars. We need to start understanding that the foundation has to grow, has to build, and in order to do social media, in order to do all the outreach, in order to have people know what's going on, it takes money. And we want to make sure that it's done the right way, it's done in a professional way that represents Dickinson State, our board, our students, and everybody that we can at the highest level. We don't want to just throw out things and just here's a piece of paper and this is what I want you to send out, Parker, good job. We want to make sure that it's done the proper way, and it does take money. So that's what this phone-a-thon is. And then we recruited the TR kids. TR, if you don't know that program, it's an honors program at Dickinson State University, and they receive the highest scholarship at the university. And that's housed under the foundation. We have to raise every single dollar that those kids receive, a $3,000 scholarship, and there's 60 of them annually. So obviously that's a big thing, $180,000 annually in order to pay for these students. We love the program, the board loves the program, the community loves this program. I think it's something that we want to see grow, we want to continue to build. Holly's doing a tremendous job with that program, but they're going to come in, they're going to be making the calls that night. So we get to pester them, we get to teach them, and you might get a call and you say, well, that kid didn't know what he was doing. Probably not. We'll train them, we'll do what we can, but you know what? They're out there and they're from Dickinson State. They're a student at Dickinson State, and they're volunteering their time to help build Dickinson State and the Heritage Foundation. And they're only going to get better at it. We have to start somewhere. We have to get these students the experience they need in order to go into the real world. So we're part of the solution. We're getting it done.
Perfect. Well, Thank you for joining us, giving us more than a rundown of everything that's happening, what you can look forward to hear from, not only in the coming weeks, but in the coming years with the Centennial celebration. Remember to check out dsuheritagefoundation.org to stay up to date on all of that, dsubluehawks.com to follow the success of our golf team and track and baseball. But check out the golf team's progress as well, and make sure you come out for that silent auction you heard Devon talk about earlier.